Broketober is over, and with only a couple more games coming out like the Monster Hunter Wilds beta and the Dragon Age the Veilguard brand new Dragon Age BioWare RPG, you guys should definitely play both of these in my opinion if you're interested. But we are now going into November, and hopefully you saved a little bit of money for some of the really cool games that are going to be coming out this month as well. And before we get started, thank you for 500 subscribers. If you're interested in gaming news and gaming reviews and you like what you see here, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Now let's get into the video. Now the first game here is Planet Coaster 2, and this is coming out on PC, PS5, and Xbox on November 6th. And if you are someone like me who played the living hell out of Thrillville as a kid, I'm talking hundreds of hours, this is definitely a game you'd be interested. Also, obviously, if you played the first Planet Coaster. And pretty much, you're just going to be building out your theme park with different roller coasters, with different water slides. You have a career mode, a franchise mode, and a sandbox mode. So if this is something you're interested in, if you like roller coasters, if you like building out your theme park and doing everything and crafting everything with very meticulous detail, then this is going to be the game for you. This is one of those games that has a very specific niche, but if you are in this niche, you are going to put hundreds of hours into this game. Now the next game is Mirthwood, and this is going to be coming out on PC on November 6th. And this wasn't one I was super interested in until I saw it and read a little bit more about it, because the first thing you're really going to notice is the very unique and awesome art style. The entire world was handcrafted by the developers, which is super awesome, and it also features an original music score. And on top of this, it kind of seems like something like a mix between the Oregon Trail and Stardew Valley, because you're going to build out your homestead, build a farm, plant and harvest crops, you're going to have your animals, upgrade facilities for crafting items and gear, and you're going to be able to explore a world of 6 diverse regions with 3 distinct towns. And with this, you're going to be fighting against storms, winter, and diseases, as well as other enemies you find in the world with either a sword or a bow. On top of this, you can adventure throughout the entire world while socializing with different people or like townsfolk you meet within the game that you're going to have a Sims-like relationship experience with, where you can build out your relationship with them, or obviously the opposite. Now, if you are somebody that loves survival games, that loves games like Stardew Valley, I definitely think this is one to take a look at, especially because how cool and unique the art style is in this game. I think it can provide a more hardcore potentially, but a unique experience in terms of the survival genre. Now the next game, and this is for you Switch people, this is Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, which is releasing on November 7th, obviously on the Switch. Now this is an adventure game where you're going to be controlling both Mario and Luigi at the same time, with the button A for Mario and the button B for Luigi, to go through, solve a bunch of different puzzles, and explore and find the hidden and moving islands of Concordia. This one seems really cool, especially if you're someone who enjoys Mario or enjoys that type of gameplay, or just enjoys like a more unique experience and a more unique take on Mario games in general, especially if you like puzzles as well. This is definitely one that I think you're going to be interested in, and obviously it's on the Switch, so if you own a Switch, you want to play a new Mario game, here it is. The next game is Slitterhead, and this is going to be coming out on the 8th of November on PC, PS4, PS5, all of the different Xboxes, pretty much everything except for the Switch. And this one is weird as hell. This one seems to be a game with a lot of horror, creepy elements mixed with an action-adventure style of game. And what you're going to be playing as is this being that can go into these different things, or these different humans specifically, that are called rarities, that have high sync potential, and infusing whatever you are with these rarities and using the rarities to kill things called Slitterheads. And once you infuse yourself or sync yourself with these rarities type of humans, you have these extra abilities or extra powers that you can then use in combat to eliminate the Splitterheads and figure out what the hell is going on in this big neon lit city called Kowloon. Now, if you think that sounds weird or sounds interesting, I think it's a little bit all of the above, but overall, the combat doesn't look great. I think it lacks a lot of impact there, but overall, I think the whole aesthetic and the whole mystery of this city and what the hell is even going on, and playing by hopping to all battle these different rare humans and killing these creepy ass things called Slitterheads. I think all of that sounds pretty damn awesome. So if you are a fan of horror games or action games with some of that creepy type of vibe, kind of similar to a Dead Space type of vibe in my opinion, this might be a game that you would enjoy. Now the next game is very interesting to me and something I'm pretty excited about because I am a huge Souls fan. This game is going to be called Void Souls. It's coming out on November 12th, only on the PC. Now this game is very unique, specifically because it's not a third-party action game like something like Elden Ring would be. It's literally a top-down game where you are playing as a triangle, a legit triangle, while you're going through the world, obviously fighting and battling all the different enemies and bosses, etc. And it's touting itself as a gateway into the Souls genre. But of all of the Souls games coming out, I think this one kind of stands out as a very distinct take on the genre, and if you're someone who wants a gateway into Souls games, I think this game is probably perfect for you. You are getting used to a lot of those type of mechanics while not necessarily exploring or being in a giant 3D open world like Elden Ring or a 3D just action environment like Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen, the actual other Souls games that are from Software aside from Elden Ring. So if you are a fan of Souls games or you're someone who wants to get into these games, this might be a good one to hop in and try out. I believe the demo is available right now for free on Steam, so go try it out for yourself. Now the next game, which isn't one that I'm specifically interested in, but I know a lot of other people are, especially if you like Lego, this one is Lego Horizon Adventures. This is going to be on PC, PS5, as well as the Switch, and this is releasing on November 14th. And although I will always be mad with how much PlayStation is doing with Horizon as a franchise and not Bloodborne, please give me a remaster, Bloodborne 2, something. This is still a game I think a lot of kids or a lot of people that just like Lego or the Horizon universe in general are going to be pretty excited about. You are getting a full Horizon game with a lot more of a different vibe within the Lego universe, and again, if you love Lego games, this is another Lego game of a franchise you either might not have played or that you are already a big fan of in Horizon, so go check this one out if this is something that you think you'd be interested in. And now we're getting into the heavy hitter of November 2024, the one I am by far the most excited about, and that is the early access for Path of Exile 2, which is going to be coming out on November 15th on PC, PlayStation 5, as well as the Xbox console. Now, if you aren't a fan of the ARPG genre, or pretty much have just been living under a rock and you don't know what Path of Exile is, this game is an ARPG that, in my opinion, is the greatest ARPG of all time, or at least since Diablo 2. This game gives you hundreds, pretty much thousands of different builds that you can use, millions of different ways that you can build your character with the biggest skill tree I've ever seen in a video game, tons of content with over 10 years of development, and a dev team that really understands the genre and listens to player feedback and gives them what they need and not necessarily always what they want or that they're asking for. This game is very good, and they've pretty much perfected the formula of the ARPG, at least if you're someone who wants to dive deep hundreds of hours into your character to build the perfect character. Now, granted, this game is very, very, very hard to grasp. There's a ton in the game that if you have not looked up a lot about the game or researched it, you're not going to know what the hell you're doing, or you're going to brick the hell out of your character and have to start over. And that transitions to me into Path of Exile 2, which they're trying to make a more approachable game for people who enjoy ARPGs but don't want something so detailed and confusing as the original Path of Exile is. Now, that's something that excites me a lot because I have bricked 100 characters in Path of Exile, and I don't always like sitting there and following a build guide for hundreds of hours on end, although I think that is a lot of the point of Path of Exile and why people also like it so much as well. But with Path of Exile 2, you're going to have a more streamlined and better, hopefully explained experience, so more people in a bigger audience can get into Path of Exile and really see what it's about and enjoy the game. This game's gonna have 12 classes, brand new areas, a story, brand new enemies to fight, bosses, new armor, new weapons, new new abilities, and all of this packaged in something that is supposed to be an experience more people are going to be able to enjoy or understand without looking a ton of things up online. And for that, I think you guys need to try it out if you're a fan of ARPGs or a fan of any RPGs in general. You don't have to buy the early access specifically, but definitely pay attention to this game. Definitely look into this game, because I definitely think this one is something most people are going to enjoy. Now, the next game, polar opposites of Path of Exile 2, but this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is going to be releasing on PC and on Xbox, and this is coming on November 19th. Microsoft Flight Simulator is the most realistic and detailed flight simulator out there, at least that I have played. But granted, I haven't played a ton of these games, so I could be wrong about that, but you're basically flying pretty much any plane you can think of over a recreation of the Earth, and in the 2024 version, they have made sure that this is the most detailed recreation of Earth that they had so far. And in this game, you can launch your career and build your reputation doing different activities like medevac, remote cargo ops, aerial firefighting, search and rescue, airline passenger transport pilot, and a ton of other things like this. There's also challenge leagues that are co-op, as well as different activities like rally races, precision landings, all the way to low altitude challenges and more. So overall, this game is going to have a lot to offer. You also be a world photographer in this game when you're flying around, and I think it's super cool. It's going to have better physics, like I mentioned, the best recreation of Earth possible, and tons of different planes that you can fly. So if you're someone that's interested in planes or these simulation type of games, this is definitely one I think you should pick up. The next game is an early access for Towers of Aghasba, which is releasing on November 19th on PC and PlayStation 5. This is another survival game, specifically a third-person survival game. We're going to explore the island of Aghasba, and in this game, you're going to be rebuilding the Shimu civilization by crafting a bunch of different settlements and making your village and bringing in members of the tribe to join you in your village, as well as doing a lot of different farming, attracting and feeding animals, and working with the gods of Aghasba to revitalize the full island. You're also going to have enemies that are called the Withered in the game that you're going to need to craft different elixirs or different weapons to go out and fight. And once you build your village and get it ready to the point where you're ready to show others, you can invite 3 friends onto your island to trade items, hunt different creatures, and battle against the Withered. So if you are a fan of survival games, if you are a fan of city building or crafting type of games, this is definitely one that I think you're going to be interested in getting in and trying out. In the last game, a pretty damn big heavy hitter is Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, which is releasing on September 20th on the PC and Xbox. Now, I never played the original award-winning FPS that was Stalker, which is obviously the game that this is a sequel to, and that is why I'm so excited to hopefully experience it in Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. If you haven't heard of these games, they are a first-person survival-like type of game that you really are going through a very non-linear story in a very tense and creepy environment, fighting against a bunch of different mutants that are freaky as hell and will try to kill you in fast. This game looks absolutely beautiful, definitely utilizing a lot of what Unreal Engine 5 has to offer, and on top of this, there will be multiplayer coming a little bit after the launch of this game. So overall, if you are a fan of these horror creepy ass games, if you are a fan of a unique gameplay style of a first-person shooter, this is definitely one you need to check out. I think this one's going to be pretty damn awesome. And these are the games of November that I think are must plays. Please let me know down in the comments if I missed one or which one you are most excited for. Like this video if you liked the video, and last but not least, subscribe for more. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Peace.